Now, the next section of this is this area called the marketing stage. What marketing stage are they in right now? And generally, there are only two major marketing stages. And I'm sorry, what you are in right now. Either you're filling the pipeline, meaning you're going out there to get some more leads, or you're following up with leads you already have. Because unfortunately, not everyone buys right away. Sometimes you have to follow up a lot. So go ahead and check which box you're in right here. In my marketing plan here, I kind of put down, of course, that I'm filling the pipeline because it's a new business. So I'm trying to get new leads, people interested in this. So I go ahead and check that box. Okay, if yours is follow-up, go ahead and check follow-up. Which leads us to coming up with what we call the optimal marketing strategy. All right, so if we know that the main thing we're going after is to fill the pipeline, I got two lists here. One is full of all the different major marketing efforts that people can make to fill their pipeline, and some of the major efforts that people make to follow up with leads that they have. So now, let's assume that you're interested in filling your pipeline. If that's the case, I always look to three areas in order to identify the optimal marketing strategy for a business. Again, the optimal marketing strategy is the right sort of formula of marketing efforts, timing, budget. I mean, just that you put everything in such a great order that it results in you never having to worry about getting customers because it works every time. Of course, there are three areas I look to really find what that optimal marketing strategy is or to identify it. The first area is called what always works. And in business, primarily, these are sort of the top list of marketing efforts that generally work every single time to get people customers. And that's that list right here. Then you have your competition, like what's working for them. Now, the best people, of course, to look at are who are the best, more successful competitors that you have, because, of course, they got there because they already identified their optimal marketing strategy. So it's always good for us to go ahead and do an evaluation on them so we can go ahead and borrow what they're doing and save all the time and money. And the third list I look at is what's worked in the past for us. Like, I'm sure we've gotten clients in different ways, but which way did you get those clients? So it's good for us to look at that as well. And what I do after I've gathered all that information, that'll give me enough information to pick my new optimal marketing strategy for my business. And here I put to 3 to 5 only because I generally don't sort of put any more than 3 to 5 sort of marketing tactics to work at one time because it's a lot of effort to try to manage those. So I try to just pick the 3 most influential or most powerful marketing efforts I can make, which I learned from this list right here. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and start looking at what always works for your target market to sell them your particular product. Let me give you an example of what that looks like. My marketing strategy here, okay, again, I'm doing this video business to teach entrepreneurs different videos, business skills. My filling the pipeline, like what always works for that, in that arena, from previous experience, from doing a little research, referrals always work, internet marketing work, like with social media, that works. Other video sites like Udemy, SkillFeed, Skillshare, Learnable, these different sites work. So these are primarily the major things that work. I mean, some of these other things do work, but they work on a minor scale. Then I look at what has worked for my competitors in this area. And I was doing a little research on my competitors on some of these actual video sites, or some articles I was reading as well. Referral partners work pretty good. Like they'll ask a referral partner to go ahead and refer them to their database or send an email for them. Same thing with centers of influence. Internet marketing works really good for the competitors, as well as the other video sites that I mentioned before as well. What's worked in the past for me to get people to see my videos or have paid for my videos? Referrals, that works. Public workshops I would do all the time, and that was where I get the bulk of my clients. Internet marketing I use as well. It's probably maybe SEO, and yeah, SEO was pretty much the biggest one, and maybe some blogging as well. That worked for me in the past. So now I'm going to pick my new optimal marketing strategy. So out of all the things that I've sort of highlighted here, what 3 to 5 am I going to choose to work on in the next 12 months to get most of my clients? Well, I'm definitely going to use centers of influence because I know a few and I'm going to keep building more where I know they have databases. Sometimes they have 5,000, 10,000 people in their database. And they will send them an email coming from me, promoting me, actually endorsing me, that eventually lead them to purchasing some of my videos. Internet marketing works too. If I send it out to a bunch of Facebook groups, entrepreneur groups, they'll catch on there. And of course, the other video sites that I mentioned before, Udemy, Skillfeed, Skillshare, Learnable, some of the other ones, I think it's the main marketing effort I'm going to do. Now, I will follow up with some of them. I generally focus on one or the other per quarter. Like if I'm focusing on filling the pipeline, this is my bulk of my time. I do a little follow-up at the same time. And if follow-up is my main, I still hit the pipeline, but then I focus on mainly following up with my current leads that I have. But since I'm in a situation where I'm really looking at filling the pipeline, for follow-up, I looked at what's worked, always works, what's worked for other people, what's worked in the past with me. So I'm primarily, since I'm focused on filling the pipeline more now, I'm going to primarily focus on sending out emails. In other words, once I get in my database, I'll send sporadic emails and autoresponders to them to let them know that I'm still putting on videos and they can catch up, or they can get access to them when they're interested.